Hello again, I'm Dave Apsley. I'm a forester and a natural resources specialist with Ohio State University Extension. Today I'm joining you from our woodland here in Jackson County, and I'd like to introduce you to a tree that has some very unique bark. It's actually classified as a small tree. You won't see it up in the canopy. You'll tend to see it in the understory like this, or maybe along the edge. Rarely do I see it much over, say, 4 or 5 inches in diameter. This one's 3 to 4 inches in diameter. The ones here, I see quite a few of them are multi-stemmed, but oftentimes they're single-stemmed as well. It's called American hornbeam. Another common name for it is blue beech, and one of my favorite common names is musclewood, because that's very descriptive of what the bark looks like on this tree. Some folks also call it ironwood, which I don't really like to use because there are multiple tree species that have been called ironwood, so that adds confusion. So, this is American hornbeam. It's a fairly common understory tree that occurs throughout most of the state of Ohio. It has small, simple leaves, so single leaf blades that are alternate, so they alternate sides of the twigs. And they are oval to egg-shaped. They tend to come to a nice point on the tip, and then the edge of the leaf is doubly serrate. So you have bigger teeth with small teeth along the edges. They'll also have parallel veins that run out from the center midrib out to the tips. Tends to be a little darker, sometimes glossy on the surface, and when you flip them over they tend to be a little bit lighter color. The fruit's very unique for this tree. The fruit tends to be in these little 3-lobed bracts. So you got a leafy structure that tends to have 3 lobes. It almost looks like a mini silver maple leaf. And then right at the base of that bract, where it attaches to the twig, you've got this little triangular hard nutlet, which when they ripen can be eaten by songbirds like finches and other small songbirds. They'll be in clusters out near the tip. They'll be on these very fine twigs, so in the winter these are difficult to ID, but if you think about a very small twig or a very fine twig, you're going to have something with relatively small leaves or leaflets. One of its relatives, the eastern hophornbeam, looks very similar when you look at the twigs and the leaves, but it has a totally different bark, and we'll talk more about the bark later. Again, twigs and fruit are really good ID characteristics, but what most people identify this tree by is the bark. Again, it's called blue beech, American hornbeam, or musclewood. It does look a lot like American beech bark. It's smooth and gray, but what's unique about it, it's kind of fluted or muscly. So when you feel it in cross-section, it's got these raised ridges around it. And that's a great identifying characteristic of this tree. You can grab it and feel it, and it's just got these raised ridges that are great for identification. It's usually a single stem tree, although on this property a lot of them are multi-stemmed. But again, it's a great small understory plant. Add some diversity to your woods, but it won't be up in the canopy. So again, thank you for your time. Have a great weekend, and please take at least part of your day to enjoy it in the woods.